Next panel that I'm going to call is Diana G. Bolus, Kim Morris, Holly Frost, Stacy Edwards, Paula Bengal, Erica Cole. They will be followed by Madonna Medina, I like that. Amanda Stevenson, Amber Pilkington, Dr. Kimberly Lopez, Ethelene Marshall, and Mary Patrick. Diana G. Bolus, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Diana Bolus. I am represented by Tommy Williams. I'm in favor of SB1. As a social worker in Texas, I've dealt with a lot of aged and disabled people. And in that time, I came across a number of the older women and some of the men, too, that were very guilty and in great sorrow about what they had done in their young life. Some of the people never had children later because they had an abortion earlier. It made a big impact on me at the time. Some of the grandparents also that I've talked to over the years have been greatly impacted by whatever their children do or their grandchildren. And it's something that I think people ought to take into consideration is families have a lot to do with raising children and supporting the mothers. And we want the mothers to have lots of support. I know myself and my family do a lot of work with pregnancy assistance centers because we want to be able to give all the support to the women that we can. Now, I know people are in bad situations and they make decisions based on that, and that's fine as long as they know their options and they get enough time to see what's the situation and get good care. I really am for good care. I don't want these situations that we've been hearing about all day long to continue on. And basically, the only other thing is I dealt with other people that had the children that had some kind of medical problem, and they loved those children.
Thank you. Kim Morris?
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of your time. My name is Kim Morris. I'm from Irving, Texas. Senator Corona represents me, such that it is. I would like to talk to you about the fact that I'm in opposition to this bill. On my shirt, I wear a pin button that I had in 1974 when Roe v. Wade was passed. And I'm wearing it again today because we still have to talk about this issue. I'm a political person, very political person. I view this as a political issue. That's it. After watching the travesty of what happened last week and what happened in the House, and the representative who presented the bill couldn't even answer the questions, I have to go to the fact that I looked at the legislation in all the other states that have the same legislation as this, and this is almost identical to what is going on and what is being handed out at organizations that consider themselves to be educational organizations and such things as ALEC. I wonder as I look around this room is what will sway you all, and I think it's going to come down as a Republican vote, and you will be in lockstep voting, just as you were during what happened during the issues that, and all the amendments that were offered and all the discussions that were offered in the House and also in the Senate during the filibuster. I hate to see politics like this. I hate to have to come down here. I'd like to let you know that being a political woman, I will be out and making sure that everybody knows how he voted and what happened, because I do believe that the Republicans will vote in lockstep. I feel sorry for you all. Thank you very much.
Senator West, for what purpose?
Just an observation. Elections have consequences.
They do.
These are the consequences of elections. You have a majority and you have a minority. And the majority here is Republican majority. It's going to be a partisan vote along party lines. But elections have consequences. A majority and a minority. Democrats and the minority, Republicans and the majority. So you can kind of figure out which way this is going.
Thank you, sir.
Holly Frost. Is Holly Frost here? Holly Frost, registered physician, wishing to provide testimony in favor of the bill. I'm going to change that to registering physician only. Stacey Edwards.
Present.
Go for it.
Thank you, Chair and Committee, for allowing me to testify. My name is Stacey Edwards. I'm the founder of Bluebonnet Brigade, and I'm also a constituent of Senator Bob Dole and Kenneth Sheets, Representative Sheets. I'm here to testify against Senate Bill 1 because I believe it is wrong for the state to interfere with a woman's rights to make personal decisions regarding her life and her body. And I'm sitting here trying to think of what I could possibly say that's different, what I could possibly say that could get your attention, that could get you to actually listen to what I have to say. We've heard many stories today about women who have regretted their abortions. I'm one of them. I suffer from abortion remorse, just like the other women who have testified before me. I was 15 years old, and I didn't know anything. I was in love with my first boyfriend, and I was incredibly stupid. I did not know I was pregnant. My mom had to figure it out. And I shut down. I was mentally out. So my parents did the best they could for me and took me to the clinic. Now, they swear to this day that they did the best they could for me, and I do believe that. I honestly believe they did the best they could for me when my mental state shut down, and I'm just a child myself. The shame and the guilt I carried with me for decades. I wasn't able to conceive again after that, but it wasn't because of an abortion, it was because of ovarian cancer. It took a lot of years of counseling for me to come to grips with what happened. I was able to look at it after the counseling through adult eyes instead of the childlike eyes of when I was going through the trauma. But even after that, I'm still 100% pro-choice because it's a decision that we make.
What is the Bluebonnet Brigade?
It's a activist organization for issue-based. It's issues-based. It's not a particular party. It's based upon issues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Bengal. I don't see a Paul sitting there. Okay, Paul Bengal wishes to provide testimony.
No, I'm here. Paula.
Paula. Okay. You are recognized, Paula.
I'm not a political woman. I'm a woman that cares deeply about truth. My name is Paula Bengal, and I live in Carrollton, Texas. And Senator Nelson is my senator. And I care deeply about SB 1 getting passed. I had an unplanned pregnancy when I was a student at the University of Texas back in the 60s. There was little or no sex education. Contraception was not available, or even accurate information on the unborn. The latest information we had then was that it was just a blob of tissue. However, when I found out I was pregnant, I knew it was a baby. I chose to give him up for adoption. I do not have to live now with regret, shame, guilt, or physical side effects for the years since that decision. In fact, 12 years ago, I met my son. He lives here in Austin, Texas. And for the few months that I had to be pregnant and branded, because back in the 60s, you were branded. You were illegitimate, not the child. But I made that choice for life. And now he has lived life well for 47 years and is here at the rally with me. Thank you.
Thank you. Erica Cole.
Hi, my name's Erica Cole. I oppose this bill. I'm a constituent of Senator Dool. As a child growing up in Dallas, Texas, I became friends with another young girl in my class in elementary school. She whispered to me a secret that her sister was raped at college, a man breaking into her back door and brutally raping the young woman and causing permanent injuries. After being released from the hospital, she decided not to go back to college and instead decided to go back home and not leave the safety of her bedroom for some time. My friend and her family were devastated. Soon she found she was pregnant and was a product of that nightmare event while she was still healing. Eventually I remember my friend telling me, the little girl telling me, two little girls talking, that her sister finally would take trips to the grocery store to get out of the house, and people would congratulate her on her pregnancy because she was showing. I remember the family had horror. She had horror, not wanting to share. It was a nightmare for her. What this teenage girl must have gone through was awful. I love my two daughters so much that if they ever had to suffer that nightmare, they could choose an abortion. I'd want them to be able to choose, and I would help them any way I could in a safe, legal way. There are over 8,000 reported forced rapes reported in Texas every year, and many resulting in pregnancy. Please allow women, their doctors, and their families, their support, to choose this most personal decision without government interference.
Thank you. Thank you to this panel.